Good morning, students. Welcome to online lecture series of human-computer interaction. So I am Professor Arun Wagmare. Today we start with our second unit, understanding the human. Today we will cover these different topics, that is input-output channels, human memory, thinking, reasoning, and problem solving, human emotions, individual differences, and psychology and design. So whenever we consider this human computer interaction, generally this is the interaction between the human and the system. So human is nothing but the user, right? So therefore, for every interactive system, the human is the very important character. Every interactive system resolves around this character only. An interactive system must be designed as per the requirements of the user only. As we are studying the humans, so we have to start with the human psychology, and this human psychology, it comes under the cognitive psychology. So what is this cognitive psychology? Cognitive psychology is how human process the information, how he stores the information, how takes the computer, how solve the problems and techniques used for the for physical object manipulation. So user is the processing information itself. So information comes to user, then stored and processed, and then pass out. So there are three parts of the system as input, output, memory, and a processing. So here we'll see what is this input output or input output channels. So for this input output channels, human interact with the outer world by receiving and sending the information, that is called input and output. Human is interacting with computer by receiving information, which is output by computer, and give response by giving input to the computer. So human output becomes the computer input, and human's input is nothing but the computer output. Humans input output are called as the human input output channels. So human is having a five senses here: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. For the human computer interaction, sight and touch senses play an important role. Taste and smell are not currently useful in HCI. In future, these two senses may involve in HCI for designing for special systems or in augmented reality systems. So first of all, we'll see the first input output channel as the vision. So it is a main source of information for the every person, right? It is a complex activity. The study of vision is important because it is related to design. Whatever our eye sees, this information is processed, and we are able to see colorful senses with a relative distances. We can perceive even size and depth. We can see the object due to the light only. This reflected light for the object is received, and same images is focused upside down on the back of the eyes. So receptors in the eye transform into electrical signals. These electrical signals are passed to the brain, and eye has so many components like cornea, lens, and retina. So retina is a light sensitive. So it contains again two types of photoreceptor. There is rods and cones. So rods are highly sensitive to the light. They are unable to resolve the fine details. They are subject to the light saturation. So temporary, you can say, blindness we get when moving from the dark room to the sunlight. and cones cannot operate. They are suppressed by the rods. Temporary, we are unable to see at all. There are approximately 120 million rods per eye. Another receptor in the eye is cones. So they are less sensitive to the light than rods. They can tolerate more light. There are three types of cones, each sensitive to the different volumes of light. This allows the color vision. The eye approximately 6 million cones mainly concentrate on the fovea, a small area of retina on which images is fixed. We perceive the movement of object due to the ganglion cells in retina. Brightness is a level of light. Luminance gives the amount of light emitted by an object. Luminance is depends on the amount of light falling on the object surface and its reflective properties. So second input output channel is the hearing. So human ear hearing starts with the vibrations in the ear, or we can say sound waves. The ear receives these vibrations and transmit them into the auditory nerves. The ear has three sections, that is outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. So outer ear is the visible part of ear. It has two parts, that is pinna on and auditory canal. So pinna is attached to the sides of the head and outer ear protects the middle ear, and auditory canal contain the wax. So what is the wax? What is the purpose of wax? So purpose of wax is to prevent from the dust, dirt and over insect reaching the middle ear. Wax is also maintains the constant temperature. Pinna and auditory canal amplifies the sound. Location of sound is identified by two ear receive slightly different sound along with the difference between the sound reaching to the two ears. The limitations of human ear: only frequency from 20 hertz to the 15 hertz. Right? So next, your input output channel is touch. Touch is also called as haptic perceptions. This sense is less important than sight and hearing. Touch provides the information about our environment. It gives the information like or feedback like hot or cold. It provides the feedback when we touch the object like shape, surface. Touch play an important role in virtual reality games. In virtual reality games, objects are computer generated and manipulated by the user by the gesture. So these are the different input output channels, right? Mainly there is vision, hearing and touch, which are used in your human computer interaction. The next, human memory. So what is this human memory? So human, some activities are depends on the human memory. For interaction design, we must understand the capabilities and limitations of the human memory. Generally, human have three types of memories: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. So see one by one. What is this sensory memory? So this is related to the sensory organ. It may be iconic, echoic, and haptic. Right? Sensory memory works like a buffer for input for the sensor. So echoic memory gives a direction of a sound. From sensory memory, information is sent to the short-term memory if human gives the attention only. So filtering is required to subject of interest. Attention means concentration of minds or so many thoughts. So next, in short-term memory, or you can say in sensory memory also, iconic memory remains in memory for 0.5 seconds. Echoic memory gives the direction of a sound. Then in short-term memory, it works like a scratchpad and it has a limited capacity. And short-term memory is a flush the short-term memory. So, for example, we can say mechanism of old ATM machines, right? So here we insert the card, do the transaction, and then machine gives your card back. But there are chances to forget to collect the card. So this is due to the you can say flush the short-term memory. Right? This is the best example. That is old ATM machines. Next is a long-term memory. It has a unlimited capacity, right? Then your short-term memory. It is slow access to compare to the short-term memory. It is used to store the information for a long time. So whenever you consider this long-term memory, there are two types of memory you have to consider. First one is a episodic memory, and second one is a semantic memory. So this episodic memory means what? It is a memory which represents our memory of events and experience in a serial form. In serial form, like in episodes, right? In TV serial, we know the different episodes are there, right? So these episodes we can remember, right? So here it is a memory which represents our memory of events and experience in a serial form. Semantic memory. So semantic memory is a structure of you can say structured the record of facts, concepts, and skills which we have acquired. Right? It allow the access to information, representation of relationship between the pieces of information. Is nothing but your semantic memory. The next, thinking and reasoning. So here reasoning is the process of using a knowledge by which we make some conclusion. So there are three types of reasonings are here: inductive reasoning, abductive reasoning, and third one is the deductive reasoning. So what is this inductive reasoning? It is a process of continuous learning from the environment, a part of its unreliability issue. We make some conclusion about the cases which haven't seen from the already seen cases, like all elephants have trunks, all monkey has tail. But if someone asks to prove it, we need to collect the evidence. That is inductive reasoning. Second one is abductive reasoning. Abductive reasoning is based on the actions or facts. This type of reasoning is from the fact to the action or a state which cause it. Right? For example, if Mohan drives his bike fast after drinking, right? Means whatever action here is there, he drive his bike fast, right? But when after the drinking, means here conclusion is what? The conclusion is when Mohan drives fast, conclusion is he has been drinking, right? So third one is your deductive reasoning. In deductive reasoning, this type of reasoning derives the logical conclusion from the given premises, right? If, for example, if A is equal to B or B is equal to C, then obviously there is a logically we can say that A is equal to C, or we can say this A is B, B is C, and then A is C, right? So I think you're getting this all this thing types of reasoning, that is deductive, inductive, and abductive